Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, back with you once again. It's been a long while, you know, since my other, CM Punk video and everything else I had to do that one. I decided to come back. And the reason why I come back is one, I want to make sure this lovely stuff, content, and everything else keeps growing and doing all this stuff and make sure that, I'm still here. And another reason is because, quite honestly, I missed y'all, and I love doing this podcast. So I was gonna stop until I get a new computer, which hopefully will be coming soon. Until then, I'm still gonna hopefully this computer doesn't explode on me. That's my hope, and that's my hope, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway. Here we are. Boom. Anyway, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. How you feeling good? Anyway, let's talk about some big stuff here. um, Ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, um, let's talk about the first thing. Edge, aka no, can't call him that. The rated R superstar Adam Copeland has come back to he's coming to AEW. This is probably one of the biggest jumps because Edge has always been in pretty much always been in WWE / WF, has been there for so long. It's one of the biggest things out there. It's one of the shockiest thing out there. So I'm going to talk about it for a bit. And he was, people remember that old podcast, him and Christian's podcast is somewhere out there. It's not already gone. They always were praising for it, and they always seem to have a love for it. And now both guys are in there, Adam and Jay Russo in there. But yet the storyline is going to be this right here. He wants them to do the team again. He wants to bring the band back together. And Christian says go after himself. And the reason why that is because he's made it. He's the main event guy now. Christian if you want to be real, he was been the main event guy in TNA / Impact Wrestling. Seriously, the dude has been up there for a while. And it just proves that, man, Christian really is that dude if you let him be that dude, be it in Impact or sometimes in WWE. When they do let him have the ball, people liked him enough. When they do, he's really good. And then when you have this stuff in AEW, when he does it, he does all the he brings his best. When you love him or you hate him, he has that energy. He has that, all this other stuff. But yeah, Christian has that radio that type of that energy, and I am so happy for this storyline to really get to. I think this is going to be one of the biggest storylines from that AEW is going to have for a while, and I can't wait to see what's going to be the you know that type of where is this going to be leading towards? Because I don't think Adam is going to be the one to dethrone Christian as the champion. I don't see that happening. But I do see happening, in my personal thing, is just going to lead to maybe Christian coming back to the light, maybe. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a Judgment Day type of situation. But then again, you never know. A couple weeks ago, when he won the TNT Championship from Luchasaurus got that chair. They really played off on it. A babyface run from Luchasaurus could be in the cards. So you could see Luchasaurus be that babyface maybe down the line. I'm just saying. So it could be that. It could be that whole thing. It looks like, and heck, it got a lot of views. I mean, last I checked, I think, let me just see if I can find the thing here. Let me find it. Let me find FIND. Find the thing. Because I saw it. I think someone on my Twitter put it up there. No, where's it go? Uh-huh. Right, yeah. Cap's losing. Yeah, no, not Cap. Cap's winning, and the Commander's losing. So that's the only thing. Where is it? I thought I saw this. Rumors of Nick Hogan, this stuff. Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So happy. That was, gosh, could you imagine? Let's see, where is it? It's supposed to be here. If I can just see it. Oh, here it is. Let me just share this tab here. Wham! This right here, the rated R era Adam Copeland Rise on Dynamite has surpassed 2 million views, ladies and gentlemen. That's more than the entire ratings I had last night. Oh man, but yeah, Adam and Copeland bringing the fan bases and such. But then again, most people don't care about cable. And if I really want to be real, wrestling fan bases basically been splittered and gone ever since probably I mean, a couple years ago, Impact Wrestling has got remember they were TNA on Impact. They had averaging a mil 1.1 and 1.2 ratings a week. And, people complain. I was one of the people yeah, they not, they never do. And the funny thing is about those ratings and such, and, me basically realizing that they had, and it just, it shows the failure of Impact Wrestling is that when the pay-per-view hits, when you got a million views and such on television, but when the pay-per-view is there, when it has only 17,000 pay-per-view buys. Meanwhile, when AEW had it, they get double, triple, or quadruple that amount. So, I mean, you could talk ratings at the end of the day, though, when it comes to the pay-per-view buy, the pay-per-views and everything else, I mean, the AEW has a very huge fan base, and when I truly believe when Full Gear comes around, my personal belief, ladies and gentlemen, when Full Gear comes around, ooh, buddy, that pay-per-view buy rate, if he is on that card in a significant match, that buy rate is going to go double than last year's Full Gear, because again, people will be, and I think a lot of people are going to be happy and all this stuff. But then again, some people were pissed off. Some people are saying that he should be kicked out. I'm like, how dare you betray W? I'm like, dude, you didn't betray them. And now I can't believe this happening, say he should be taken off the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm like, sit down. Go outside. Go outside and take a nice, big fresh of air. Touch, roll, go on the grass. If you can't do it, just go outside and take a good long breath of fresh air. Go to the park. Go somewhere. Go anywhere. Do not stay on the computer or anything else. It's hurting you emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Go outside and talk to people. Do the things. Because honestly, arguing for that type of craziness this is the reason why no one really takes the stuff seriously, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy. It's craziness. But also, this is not the big free update and everything else in the wrestling world. Oh, no. Jade Cargill is now in WWE. And now the question is that, I mean, let's see if we look here. We go here, share this tab instead. Jade Cargill is going to be in WWE, and honestly, the way she was handling AEW is great. She, things could have been better. Sure, I wish that she would have been more in the mainstream. Instead of being that whole little bubble in herself. I think that there is supposedly. I think she's going to go to. I don't think she needs. No, NXT, as much as I like how NXT treats its women wrestlers and all that stuff, she needs to be on the main card. Jade needs not to be in NXT. If I really wanted her, I would have Jade reveal the Royal Rumble. She wins the Royal Rumble and beats whoever going to be the champion at this point, be it Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, or Bianca Belair, or any one of them. Becky Lynch, I don't care. She needs to win the Rumble. She needs to go in the Rumble, win it, and just have her. And that's the way you make her legitimate. She does not just need a step in NXT. Honestly, NXT's booking needs to be on WWE's main roster. I mean, if you can only have 3 minutes for Monday Night Raw for the women's matches or anything else, and same thing with SmackDown, you can find time for Roman. You can find time for like Cody Rhodes, just to meander and does his little preacher routine. You can find time for Sky. You can find time for Charlotte Flair, and the names of other women wrestlers who don't. What about those two the witches on there who were the NXT Women's Champions? Let me see. NXT Women's Champions. I just gotta look that up for one quick second, and I'll let someone in the chat will tell me. Oh, Alba Fire and Ilza Dawn. What happens? What happened to those two? I remember these two. What happened to them? What happened to Alba Fire and Ilza Dawn? Remember them? They were the NXT champions. They lost to they lost to let's see Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, and then never appeared again. Maybe they did promos. I'm like, no, why aren't they there? You have all this time for everything else, but why weren't you there? Why aren't you using them? What about Katana Chance and Kaden Carter? Where are they at? See, this is the problem. You have all the same as AEW. So much talent, so much interesting characters that could be explored are completely wasted, or they only have gone for the TBS Championship or the AEW Women's Championship, and everything else is just everything is shuffled to Ring of Honor. Or the same with WWE, everything is shuffled to NXT. And honestly, the only main promotions doing their women's wrestling, treating it as respect is on is Impact Wrestling. They did, and I hate the fact that Impact Wrestling is the only one doing it. And also, I'm like, no, NXT, I would say barely counts because all they're doing is just setting up for disappointment. Same thing for the male tag teams, male wrestlers, and everything else what they did back in the early 2010s and such. They set you up for disappointment. And that's why I fear with Jade right here is that for the most part, majority of the women's wrestling has just felt uninspired. It's mostly the men. The men have taken over the majority of Raw and SmackDown. No one's really talking. The only hot women's feud right now is Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. Everything else is just feels like lukewarm and everything. Io Sky's championship run is just basically just saying, "Hi, I'm waiting to be stabbed in the back by Bayley or get beat or get beat by Charlotte Flair." That's it. Io Sky is just that championship is just not even. She feels like she's not only she feels like she's just holding the championship until Charlotte Flair has it. Or Jade is going to get it. It's messed up. It's messed up that we have a conversation of this type of how horrible WE and AEW does their women, their women's divisions pretty piss poor. Can't even get a second women's match on Dynamite, for goodness sakes. I mean, I don't know. But yet, the people still love it. And I watch and such. It is still frustrating. But I hope Jade, like I say, I hope Jade has a great time in WWE. I hope they build her up and just continues to see how powerful and how great she is. And she is great. They better not screw up because, quite honestly, I worry because WE has this time. They have like, oh, they're hot. And then next, they just like leave them to be like, all right, we don't know what else to do. Or they're like, well, we got two strong black women, Bianca and Jade. It can't push both at the same time. Or just, I see this floating around. Oh, why can't this joint like Jade and Bianca be attacked? I'm like, are you no? Especially how bad the tag team wrestle. Every time there's people tag, they're cursed. Either they get injured or they are fade away to irrelevancy. Jade, how popular she is, how great she is, she probably won't be able to. I don't think she's great enough. I don't think any women's wrestler is great enough to make those tag team championships relevant. At this point, I would just say dump the tag women's championships, tag team women's title, until they actually start building a teams. Hell, here's some crazy thing. Start building your teams up. Not just build a team, but build the women's divisions up. Make them stronger. Make them have feuds without women in the titles. Can you do that? Have a women's feud that doesn't involve the women's champion. Have a feud with that. Both Raw and SmackDown. That to me is that's my assignment if they're listening. If old Papa Hunter is listening, have a feud with two women that doesn't have the championship involved and build on it. And see if you make them characters. Make them villains or make the hero characters more heroic. It's not that hard. You see it every other place. All the men can get this, but yet the women can't. Or you just see women that just, I think WE, probably AEW only see women as just basically, basically just barely have any type of emotion or anything else at all, or whatever. They can't be any type of trail. But that's neither here or there. That's just my rant for that. No worries. We'll be right back after this. And because for all I have for the stuff here, I got some stuff to talk about, other stuff, because the writer strike's over. But also, other stuff has been talking about as well. And, the video games and like the layoffs and everything else. And how this is going to be very, how everything, how all this stuff is. So, we're going to be right back. And when we do, ladies and gentlemen, I want to, I'm going to be talking a bit about, ladies and gentlemen, about the writer's strike. It's ending, and hopefully that means the actor's strike, and how that, how that's going to probably end as well. Anyway, I'll be right back right after this here, live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Duke CT. We'll be right back right after this.
Outside on the corner where I caught the bus, thinking in my head it's colder than I thought it was. Sometimes life is like that, and you just quiver your lips, whisper a wish, hoping someone might give us deliverance. Now deliver this message, think I could live with this message. You could just give a few seconds to come and sit in my presence. And yes, it is so precious, yes, it is a blessing. Next, I'll attempt to express it with every heavy breath, cause just to make it worth it, and just to make it real, you always made it perfect, and that's the way I feel. Sometimes we think too much, and we lose control, but it's not what you know, no, it's who you know. Days that will not end, I'm sure you've had them too, wishing you're still in bed, and yet we have to move. This is what passion do, this is what passion does. It's on my planets too, so sending back the love. No Snowflakes fell like a gift from the skies, and teardrops swelled when I lifted my eyes. And it was surely just brightness that had informed in me, while the storm in the streets was adorned in the trees, and it clothed each branch with a layer of the purest snow. And this miracle was a little less than a year ago. Now summer's almost over, the weather's growing colder, approaching frozen soldiers, a Minnesota soldier. Backpack on my shoulder, days on shoulder, I spend most alone. Still growing older, feeling lonesome though I'm close to home. I'm the city bus and both are closing on the open road. My soul is swollen though I'm holding on, and so it goes. And sometimes when it's dark, I look up at the stars, think about how small we are, but at least we have hearts. Getting past my speeding cars on these streets of ours. I want to be the cause for someone's grief to pause. Cause just to make it worth it, and just to make it real, you always made it perfect, and that's the way I feel. Sometimes we think too much and we lose control, but it's not what you know, no, it's who you know. Days that will not end, I'm sure you've had them too, wishing you're still in bed, and yet we have to move. This is what passion do, this is what passion does. It's on my plan is too, start sending back the love. I can't even get emotional, cause even though this road is negotiable, this road that goes going solo, feeling so low, and it don't know the things I'm supposed to know. But so I know some brothers that are rolling in the same road with the same goal, and they say focus. So this focus, and you're gonna quit this a long way to go. I'ma need you to go with. I put your back like the shirt takes time, no matter what it is, yes sir, that's right. Even when you act like a dirtbag guy, admit never both will sure, that's why I keep no account of flaws, keep holding out for y'all. People is all we are, you know I'm down by law. Cause just to make it work, and just to make it real, you always made it perfect, and that's the way I feel. Sometimes we think too much, and we lose control, but it's not what you know, no, it's who you know. Days that will not end, I'm sure you've had them too, wishing you're still in bed, and yet we have to move. This is what passion do, this is what passion does, and so my plan is too, so sending back the love. Cause just to make it worth it, and just to make it real, you always made it perfect, and that's the way you feel. Sometimes we think too much, and we lose control, so it's all this for all of the fools we know.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks to you for listening to me, Dukect. How are you? Hopefully you're feeling good, feeling blessed, and all that good stuff. But hey, good news. The writer strike is officially over, as they've gotten so much good stuff. And, just see. All right. Yada, yada, yada. See, they not only that, but they also got, let me just look at the deal they got, by the way. Let's see if we can get the deals and see. Yeah. We got to see where the thing is. Ah, there we are. Let's see. Look at the deals they had. And let me just share this tab here. Looking at what did they win? By the way, the summary of what they won is that the agreement is a 5. They get digital bases. Minimums get lower increases or single increases. Streaming fixtures, made for programs and nice segments with a budget of 30 million. We create 18% of initial compensation. 100,000, 100 grand for story and teleplay, and 26% of increase of residual base, combined with the form residual improvements, produces a 3-year residual with $206,000 and 200 well, a 3-year residual of 216,000 products on the larger streaming services. Require a second step if hired for a screenplay for 200% of the medium or less. Also applies for purchases of screenplays. Accelerated payment for schedule for flat details, 2% pay upon commencement, 25% pay 9 weeks after commitment upon invoice, and 25% on delivery. Applies if writer is paid 200% of the minimum or less. They're like, they got really good stuff on it. The compensation, development rooms, script fees for writers, backups, stuff like that. Having the writers' rooms, distribution of employment, streaming. Wow, look, this looks really good too. They're getting more of a payment, and this is, I honestly believe, it's good. I always believe that it's a good thing. The studios needed to make this deal because, quite honestly, pension, health, all this stuff, and honestly, this is the big thing of AI, right here. Regular use of artificial intelligence on the NBA cover projects. AI-generated written material is not considered literary material. Source material are assigned material under the NBA. AI is not a writer under the NBA. Writer can elect to use AI when performing writing services if company consents and provided writer follow applicable community policies. Company cannot require a writer to use AI software. For example, ChatGPT, when performing writing services. Company must disclose to writer if any material given to writer has been generated by AI or incorporates AI generated material. Guild reserves the rights to assert that exploitation of writers' material to train AI is prohibited by This was what it is. They got it. They got all this stuff, and they didn't get everything. One of $429 million a year. They got 233. That's not bad. This is a really good stuff here. And with the writer stuff is done, and a lot of people are coming back home during the late night and such. You see, you got like Bill Maher's doing this stuff. You got like with him having DeSantis on, which is probably the dumbest thing he ever did. One of the dumbest things, having a complete loser like him on the show. But then, that's what it is. Yeah, Jimmy, him, and I think all the late night shows are coming back, and a lot of people they felt good. And the Jennifer Hudson show's coming back. Even though they were going to do that, they were like, she was going to come in without return, and the writers, but she shifted course. And according to Variety, other daytime shows were criticized while returning without writers. Hudson first week back with appearances from The Voice host and Shaquille O'Neal. Then you have The Talk coming back. Saturday Night Live is coming back, which is somehow, that's going to happen, even though they're like actors and everything. And they said it's okay for them to do it. It's weird. Then show is going to be doing rotating hosts because they're not doing anything. Kelly Carson's show is going to be returning. And everyone is coming back from a lot of it is. But the Actors Guild is still there, and they're still trying to negotiate stuff with that as well. So there's going to be more of I would not be surprised. Let's see. But like I said, right here, they did a look at this stuff right here. They proved a lot of like I said, a lot of deals were done. A lot of positive stuff here. Lots of things that they did win. So much money. They got they got all the things they needed to do. Hopefully actors will do the same thing. And that means, and also there are going to be, I wouldn't be surprised because again, they're looking to be, like I said, the writer's strike. Video games, and now right here, they look like they're going to be doing this for the video game, for the video. Let me just share the tab here. Share the tab here. Hollywood actors vote to strike against video game makers here, and this was a couple weeks ago. Striking, get this out. Wait, striking actors have voted to expand their walkout to the lucrative uh, video game market. Instead, to put new pressure on Hollywood studios to make a deal with performers who provide videos, voices, and stunts with games. So the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Radio and Television, announced to move late Monday that 98% of its members voted to go on strike against video game companies if ongoing negotiations are not successful. The announcement came ahead of more talks. So yeah, the video games did do this. There is a precedence of this. Video game actors went on strike in 2016, lasted nearly a year. And they look at these games here. I mean, Activision, Electronic Arts, Epic Games, Tech Two Productions, and Disney and Warner Brothers video game positions. Which, honestly, you notice, by the way, you don't see Nintendo in this whole thing. Is I think Nintendo does this people well. I think they treat their developers pretty well, but America they don't do that right here. We'll get into that later. In fact, let me just look at all the stuff here because again, the strikes, all this stuff here, Epic Games, which again, what they're doing this past couple of days is pretty crappy. And then you wonder why there should be a union to protect the workers, because right now, labor union and such. But yeah, right now, let me just see if I can get here. What's going on? What's going on with Epic Games here is that the layoffs here, they have been laying off everyone. I mean, Epic has been doing like they've been the only big thing they have has been Fortnite, and but yeah, trying to do the Epic Store, the Unreal Engine, and that's what keeping their lights on. And yeah, this says they're going to lay. This is right here because this a couple weeks ago, September 28th, CEO Tim Sweetney notified employees via internal email that he will lay off 16% of its workforce, um, over 800, like around 830, 300 workers. In addition, they sold its recently acquired subsidy Bandcamp and spun off UK-based engagement company Super Awesome into its own largely independent entity. And it's right here. They've been spending way more money than we earn, Sweeney wrote. Investing in the next evolution of Epic and growing Fortnite as a metaverse and style. The metaverse. The same thing that has been completely and totally fallen apart. Why are these corporations continue to follow these money pits, and then they won't do this? Anyway, Metaverse is part ecosystem for creators. I have long been optimistic that we could power through this transition without layoffs, but in retrospect, I see that this was unrealistic. Well, at least they had severance packages, at least. And it says the issue was driven by a change of focus for Fortnite, where its growth has now driven primarily by creator content with significant revenue sharing. This has seen Fortnite evolve again from the initial release. Yeah, it was a zombie shooter, by the way. Then it went to free-to-play player versus player battle royale mode, and then just basically dominated ever since. And now it's just basically a metaverse platform, and trying so hard to basically really do the metaverse and such, which has failed spectacularly. It's like now it's like we're cutting costs without breaking development our core lines of business so we can continue to focus on our ambitious plans. Some of our products and initiatives will land on schedule, and some may not ship when planned because they are under resourced for the time being. We're okay with the schedule trade-off. It means holding on to ability to achieve our goals and get the other side profitability and leading metaverse company. Let's see. Where I'm looking again. Where is this? There. You know what? Here we are. And meanwhile, years and years ago, you see this thing happen here. September, no, that's January 29, 2014. You look at this headline: Wii U bombed, so Nintendo CEO cuts his own pay. The head of Nintendo said he will slash his salary in half after announcing a 30% dive in a 9-month profit of weak demand for his new Wii U console, as gamers are enticed by cheap download games for mobiles. President Satoru Iwata told reporters he would draw a reduced salary for 5 months to atone for the downturn, while other members of the board will take a price cut between 20 and 30%. When asked if his pay cut could extend beyond June, Iwata said, "I will make a decision after looking at the management situation at that time." Nintendo is due to hold an analysis conference Thursday to outline plans for a new business strategy. And I'm like, yeah, they this is again, you don't see this in American companies. And rest in peace to Soto Arata, who one of the people who, by the way, was a designer, by the way. Let me just in his before he became the Nintendo president, he was a video game designer. He was a video game programmer, designer, and producer. Um, let's see. He worked. Let's see in HAL Laboratory. I mean, he was. Yeah, I mean, while he was working, he was in university, and he was right there with Earthbound. He could games like Earthbound and many games in the Kirby series. You know, it's a shame. It's a shame that you don't have that right now. And I don't think you'll never see that. You're not going to see that, ladies and gentlemen, anywhere in America. You know, you're not going to see that. Could you imagine Tim Sweetney saying, "Yeah, we made mistakes. I'm going to take a pay cut. I will take, I'm taking the hit." Do you see that? No. You ain't going to see any of these people from, like I said, look at the video game stuff. You think anyone from Activision, Electronic Arts, Take Two, Disney, Warner Brothers, you think they're gonna do it? Think Bob Iger's gonna take a pay cut of this stuff like that? Nope. You think Dave Zaslav's taking a pay cut? Nope. You think people behind Activision or Electronic Arts, all of them, you think those CEOs are gonna be like man enough and say, "Hey, I made my I messed up. I gotta take a haircut." No, they don't. They cower and they fire everyone else and not taking the responsibility for themselves. I hate that. I actually hate the fact that no one takes responsibility for them. Like these so-called these big producers. I feel like I'm just saying this over and over again. I hate this. I actually physically hate this. I really hate the fact of this, I really hate the fact that this was a just you know I just I hate the fact that these huge people say, I'll take a pay cut when things go wrong. Like, hey, I'll take it. There's no responsibility. No responsibility. No type of saying we're gonna take this thing, you're gonna take like we didn't work out, we're gonna work. No, they scurry around and say they'll blame everyone else. And when they say, "Oh, well, I'll take a little bit of blame and everything else," but they won't take a pay cut. No, they'll fire everyone else. They will fire and cut everybody off and fire everybody else. and they won't take any responsibility. Meanwhile, this President rest in peace, Satoru Iwata. I'm probably mispronouncing his name. If I'm not doing it, I apologize if I am mispronouncing his name. But this person he saw what's happening, and he just said, you know what? At the end of the day, the Wii U was my idea, my responsibility. The board's gonna take a pay cut. Everyone else is gonna be all right. Just keep doing the things you can do, and then bam, it's a shame that he didn't. It sucks that he passed on. With that type of he passed on. A year after that, and then you had the Switch, which he was in that as well. There's you can find that he really believed in that type of technology, so he was heavily involved with Switch as well, and see how it is one of the most popular systems right now. Even though a lot of people say they wish they could just move on, and now they're getting what they want, a new Switch 2 or whatever. But yeah, it frustrates me that people have don't have the spine to be like, well, no spine, no real just taking responsibility. And such with these same people who have this ideology of taking personal responsibility, bootstraps, and all that type of stuff. But when things get when crap hits the fan, guess what happens? That's just my personal thing. But hey, that's my thoughts. And that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. It's I just need to get that out there. But you know what? Let me just end the show with a little positively, a little positive stuff here in the show, because next Tuesday is going to be very interesting. I might actually start if I can. If I had a good a laptop or whatever, I would have two. Or if I had to set up, I would have two screens and try to do a live stream of both WE and AEW, the next scene and everything. I'm not going to show anything. I'll be like, okay, NXT and AEW, go have fun and do all the crazy stuff if I can do it. God, and I have a live stream me talking about what stuff is there and everything else. Me commentating on both. But maybe I might just do a review. I don't know. Because it looks like it's going to be interesting. You got Title Tuesday versus the big NXT getting John Cena. We're getting everybody down there. So it looks like it's going to be a fun time. Next week is going to be really fun. So I can't wait for that. Anyway, that's it for me, Duke CT. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thank you for sticking with me, Duke CT. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.